Ever notice how laughter thins out the instant your shadow slips through a doorway? One moment the room hums, the next it hushes, as though the air itself recoils and recalibrates. Heads tilt, eyes wander, smiles harden into polite masks no thicker than frost on glass. You're not stomping around, not barking orders, yet something invisible in your stride bends the atmosphere, yanking stray conversations clean off their tracks. You can almost feel people searching for the right expression, the safe remark, anything that might steady the sudden tremor under their skin. Carl Jung would say what they sense isn't attitude. It's the raw frequency of a psyche that has stared down its own darkness and didn't flinch. The aura you project, call it silent gravity, psychic voltage, that unspoken charge, whispers truths most folks spend their whole lives burying. It's a mirror no one asked for, reflecting every hidden insecurity, every unresolved ache, every half-finished sentence of the soul. When you walk in, the collective ego braces for impact, and even the loudest storyteller checks their volume, rattled by questions they can't quite articulate. Have I faced myself? Am I still hiding? That is why the air goes still. Your presence issues a challenge without ever opening its mouth, a dare to confront what lurks beneath the comfortable chatter. And the room's response, shifting feet, clipped laughter, awkward pauses, is proof of just how few have taken that dare. Stay with me, because in the next breath we'll peel back that reaction layer by layer, revealing how to turn your silent gravity from a source of tension into your greatest source of power. And the first insight might make the walls around you feel even thinner. Most people picture an aura as a watercolor halo, soft pinks and lilacs misting off the shoulders like stage lights at a wellness retreat. But that dreamy image sells your presence laughably short. What ripples from you is no pastel fog. It is a field, dense and electrical, forged in the furnace of every truth you have dared to metabolize. Imagine a subterranean river humming beneath the skin, carrying the minerals of memory, desire, heartbreak, and hard-won insight. The deeper that river runs, the stronger its current grows, until the very atmosphere around you vibrates with the weight of what you have integrated. Walk into a room and that current fans out before words do, brushing against other nervous systems like an unseen tide. Without conscious effort, people feel whether your water is clear or brackish, calm or roaring, and they instinctively adjust, as anyone would when a storm front rolls across still air. This field predates language. Long before a handshake or a hello places you on the social map, the field interrogates the space. Is this person congruent? Does their face match their heartbeat? Are they hiding from themselves? If your inner life is snarled with unspoken fears, the broadcast is static. If you have hauled those fears into daylight and soldered them into understanding, the signal condenses into a single, unmistakable frequency. Bodies read that frequency faster than minds can label it. A polite smile might buy you seconds, but the gut registers truth, or the lack of it, in a blink. Crucially, the broadcast is calibrated by inner alignment, not charm. Forced cheer only muddies the signal, and even a radiant grin can't disguise voltage that crackles from shadow work, not social varnish. Every childhood wound you confronted, every contradiction you reconciled, every night you spent wrestling silence into self-knowledge adds a charged particle to the space around you, turning casual air into low-pressure truth weather. That is the invisible barometer people feel tightening in their chests the moment you step across a threshold. Understanding the physics of that field is step one. Shaping it is the art. And before we examine how emotional electricity hitchhikes on your signal, why mirror brains spark like flint the instant you move, we need to trace how that subterranean river carved its course in the first place. Ready to follow the current into the raw science of emotional contagion, take a steady breath and step through the next doorway with me. What happens inside a brain the instant you step into its orbit is less mystic than it is electrical. Clusters of mirror neurons flare like struck matches, blood flow jolts toward the limbic system, and a silent algorithm of survival asks, do I synchronize with this presence or retreat? Emotional contagion, despite the poetic name, is a hardwired reflex, a lightning-fast download of someone else's inner weather. If your current is grounded in self-knowledge, it transmits stability. Hearts nearby slow by a few beats, cortisol eases, attention sharpens. If your current thrums with unspoken conflict, it leaks static that others interpret as danger, spiking their pulse even before their conscious mind can invent a reason to fidget. The contagion jumps by microsignals no one notices. The fraction of a second your gaze holds steady, the microscopic stillness in your shoulders, the way your breath fills the diaphragm instead of rattling shallow in the chest. These cues broadcast whether you are integrated or fragmented, and every nervous system in proximity recalibrates accordingly, either leaning in for resonance or bracing for ricochet. This is why a single authentic presence can calm a panicked crowd, and why a single restless ego can sour an otherwise bright room. Your aura is the transmitter, but their biology is the amplifier. Together they compose an unscripted symphony of hormonal spikes, subtle yawns, and sudden silences. Understanding this circuitry means you can steer the music, grounding yourself before entry, breathing low and slow to seed coherence, letting any stray anxiety dissolve in the exhale so it never echoes back at you as someone else's distrust. Master that, and you stop being the accidental storm cloud. You become the covert conductor, bending tension into stillness without a syllable spoken. So how does that mastery translate into the visible world? Tight smiles, dropped eyes, power dynamics flipping on contact. To see your field in action, we need to map the 5 external reactions that betray its pull, and the first one surfaces the very second casual chit-chat collapses in your wake. Take another steady breath, and let's watch the room betray its secrets. When you walk in and simply stand there, the room tells a story even before anyone talks. The first clue is the tight-lipped smile. Mouths press shut, eyes flick away, and shoulders rise a bit, as if people hurry to shut a window that just let in a cold gust. Next comes the quiet cough or throat clear. Someone sips water, another fidgets with a cup. These tiny noises give everyone a reason to break eye contact and reset their nerves. Then the conversation crash hits. A joke stops halfway, or a story trails off with no ending. The air feels thick, like sentences get stuck before they can leave a tongue. After that, you see the status shuffle. The person who loves the spotlight suddenly talks softer. The boss who always acts sure of himself starts over-explaining simple things. Their confidence was floating on the group's applause. Your calm presence pricks that bubble. Finally, there's the distance dance. Bodies angle away, arms cross, and someone remembers an urgent task across the room. They are not fleeing you so much as the mirror you carry, one that shows how thin their masks really are. All 5 moves happen in less than a minute, without a single word from you. Your steady energy speaks first, their nervous systems rush to translate, and the dance of discomfort begins. Seeing this pattern matters. Each action, closed lips, small cough, stalled talk, lowered volume, sudden step back, tells you if people are ready for a real exchange or still hiding behind armor. Read those signs, and you can choose what to do next. Soften your tone so they feel safe, or keep your signal strong to see who can meet you as an equal. But the room's body language is only half the story. Your own muscles, breath, and gut feelings give warnings too, often sooner than any smile can fade. Take a slow breath, because next we'll look inward and spot the signals inside you that whisper, "Something here is off." long before anyone else catches on. Your body is a radar, and it starts buzzing long before anyone else notices the storm. The first alarm is heavy tiredness in small talk zones. You walk into a chat about weekend weather, and within minutes, your eyelids feel weighed down. It is not boredom. It is your nerves pulling the plug on fake energy. They know shallow words can't feed you, so they shut you down to save power. Second comes the gut pinch when someone wears a mask. You sense it like grit in clean water. The person smiles wide, but a tight knot twists low in your stomach. That knot is your inner guard dog growling. Something here doesn't match. Trust it. Your thinking mind may need proof, but your gut already saw the crack. Third is the mood swing you cannot explain. You enter a room feeling steady, yet 10 minutes later, you're tense or sad for no clear reason. That's not just vibes. That's your open signal tower pulling in feelings that aren't yours. Like a sponge in a muddy pond, you soak up the emotions floating around. If you forget to squeeze that sponge, deep breath, quick walk, cold water on wrists, you'll walk away carrying weight that belongs to someone else. The fourth sign is the old outsider ache. Even among friends, even with family, you sometimes feel like glass separates you from the crowd. It's not rejection, it's perception. You see layers most folks skip, so their normal can feel paper thin. That ache is proof of depth, not proof that something's wrong with you. These four inner alerts act faster than any tight smile across the room. Feel them, name them, honor them. They are your early warning system, guiding you to stay clear, stay honest, and stay whole. Notice the tiredness, the gut pinch, the mood swing, the quiet loneliness, and you'll know exactly when to ground, when to leave, and when to let your insight speak. Ready to learn why those signals make certain people label you too intense, and how to flip that label into quiet influence. Take one calm breath, and let's step into the reason honest energy scares the crowd. People call you too intense because honest energy feels like bright sunlight after hours in a dim room. It reveals dust in the corners that most folks pretend not to see. We build everyday life on small props, polite smiles, half-true stories, the easy lie that everything is fine. Because those props keep the ego safe. The moment your clear gaze or steady silence arrives, those props wobble. Someone who spent years hiding doubt behind loud jokes now hears the quiver in his own punchline. A friend who masks sadness with non-stop plans suddenly senses the emptiness when plans pause. That jolt hurts, so the brain reaches for a fast shield. You're just intense, too serious, too deep. Blaming you lets them dodge the real issue, the mirror you hold. Yet the label can become your quiet advantage. Instead of shrinking, stay slower and softer than they expect. Keep your shoulders loose, tone warm, sentences short. When someone bristles, ask a gentle question. Sounds like that bothered you. What's up? Then let silence do the heavy lifting. Silence feels scary only when truth is hiding, and your calm presence turns that silence into safe ground where real words can land. If a joke falls flat, don't laugh to fix it. Pause, smile lightly, and shift to something real. If a boss grows defensive, honor their role. I see how much this matters to you. Can I share another angle? Your respect lowers their guard. Your clarity lifts the fog. Over time, people notice they think straighter, breathe easier, and feel seen when you're near. The label intense morphs into steady, sharp, even trustworthy. Remember, the aim isn't to soothe every ego, it's to keep your field clear. The ones ready for truth will lean closer, the rest will step back, and that's okay. Your task is not to dim, but to shine in a way that invites, never forces, others to step into the light with you. Solitude can feel like a sharp wind, but for someone with your kind of presence, it is really a training ground, a quiet room where the echo finally stops so you can hear your own heartbeat. Think of it this way: every strong signal needs a place to recharge. When you spend time alone, no phone, no TV, just you and the low hum of the world, you let the noise fall off your skin, the same way steam lifts from a hot mug. This is what I call daily clearing. Sit for 10 slow breaths, lengthen each exhale, and picture any tension sliding down your spine like sand through an hourglass. Follow that with a short body scan. Jaw unlocked, shoulders back, belly soft, feet anchored. These tiny checks tell your nervous system, we are safe, which keeps your energy steady the next time you step into a crowded room. Next comes boundary talk, and it is simpler than most guides make it. A boundary is just a clear line spoken in warm words. I need a moment to think, or let's pick this up after lunch. Notice the gentle tone. The strength is in the clarity, not in volume. People may push because clear lines unsettle fuzzy minds, but stand firm without anger. Each time you hold that line, your aura learns it is allowed to guard its own door. Then practice intentional presence. Before you walk into the office or a family dinner, pause on the doorstep. Feel the soles of your shoes, the weight of your arms, the slow drum of your heart. Set a simple aim: I will stay open, but not absorb. This single thought steers the field around you like a quiet captain's hand on the wheel. You still radiate truth, yet you choose what sticks and what slides away. Do these 3 habits: clearing, boundaries, presence, and your rare energy stops feeling like a burden. It becomes a tuned instrument, ready to settle storms or lift hearts, ready to see how that tuned energy flips power dynamics, even with people who outrank you on paper. Take one calm breath and follow me into the next room. Notice what happens when you bring that steady, well-tuned energy face to face with someone who outranks you: an older boss, a loud team lead, even a relative who wears authority like a crown. The power dynamic many people accept without thinking begins to tilt the instant you arrive. The boss might start over-explaining simple policies, padding his sentences with, "as you surely know," to prove he's still on top. The team lead, usually bursting with instructions, suddenly checks her notes twice and stumbles over words she's spoken 100 times. They feel a quiet question humming from you. Does your title match your inner steadiness? If the answer is no, their nerves answer for them. Voice a touch higher, smile stretched tight, eyes darting left before every point. You, meanwhile, stay slow. You keep your breath in your belly, feet flat, shoulders loose. When you speak, you open with a calm phrase like, "Here's what I see," or "I've noticed one detail." No apology, no fluff, just clear words and a level tone. Authority built on fear softens under that gaze, because fear relies on haste and noise, and you bring neither. If someone tries to reclaim ground by talking over you, pause, let the silence widen, then continue at the same gentle pace. The room soon realizes volume does not equal leadership, coherence does. A quiet trick: ask one focused question that proves you've done your homework. For example, have we checked how this affects last quarter's numbers? Make it specific. Make it real. Authority figures respect preparation, and even those who feel threatened have to meet the question on the facts, not on status. You don't need to win a debate. You need to anchor the talk in truth. That anchor is your leverage. Over time, the pattern repeats. The louder ego cools, the rushed plan slows, and the meeting tilts toward clarity. Titles still exist, but the unspoken ranking shifts from badge to backbone. Keep practicing this calm stance, and you'll see people start turning to you when stakes rise, because steady energy feels safer than loud power. Ready to explore why some folks open up to you like a diary, then vanish the next day? Draw one more slow breath and step with me into that puzzle. The hush that follows you is not a warning sign. It is proof that you carry something the world has almost forgotten. Unfiltered presence. You have walked the long road through your own doubts, stitched shadow to light, and emerged with a signal too clear for make-believe chatter to survive. Every tight smile, awkward pause, or stumbling authority figure you meet is a mirror reflecting one fact. Rare authenticity rattles fragile armor. So keep your feet steady on the ground you have earned. When small talk drains you, breathe deeper. When borrowed confidence trembles, let silence do its revealing work. When someone labels you too much, hear the unspoken confession. Your honesty stretches farther than my comfort zone. Carry that truth without apology. Solitude will still visit, but it comes as a mentor, not as a curse, polishing your signal each time you sit with its quiet lessons. And when the next room hushes at your arrival, remember that silence is an invitation, not a verdict. Let your calm eyes hold the space. Let your measured words seed clarity. Let the field around you remind every listening heart what wholeness feels like. Because in a world starved for genuine light, the brightest act of courage is simply to stay luminous. Now close your eyes for one slow breath. Feel your pulse matching the earth below. And step forward, knowing that wherever you go, the air itself is already listening. So when the next room falls strangely quiet, remember this. The silence isn't judging you, it's listening. It's the sound of pretenses cracking, of hidden questions rising to the surface. Let that hush remind you how rare wholeness really is, and how powerful it feels in a world addicted to surface noise. Keep walking with unhurried steps. Speak only when the words ring true, and watch how even the loudest masks begin to loosen around you. Now, I want to hear from you. What moment made you realize your presence shifts a room? Share it below. Your story might be the mirror someone else has been searching for. And as you carry this awareness into tomorrow, ask yourself one lingering question. If quiet honesty can tilt an entire crowd, what else might it rebuild?